This crispy chicken is from a taco place.
This crispy chicken is from a taco place? The taco place? Taco place. It comes in a burrito, too?
From your taco place, it's also a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Check out the all-new Blue and Orange store at the Boise State Hall of Fame. The Blue and Orange store has your best game day gear. We're talking jerseys, hats, bumper stickers, car flags, more than 4,000 hats on the hat wall. If you want the best Boise State gear, make sure you check out the Blue and Orange store online at theblueandorangestore.com or the all-new Blue and Orange store down at the Boise State Allen Noble Hall of Fame.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's the best time to trade in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV with the room to haul your payload or playload. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
Bronco fans, the new Boise State trading cars are here, and you can only get them at Jackson's.
Start collecting them today.
Jackson's, let's go!
And final blade of grass. Done. And done. Who knew it'd take 2,007 man-hours to paint 47,962,053 blades of grass? Smells like game day. Whoa, it's not dry yet.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live is the only daily show that talks nothing but Boise State sports. And we do it with you. Give us your comments or questions in the ICCU YouTube chat. Or leave us a voicemail on the Signature Roofing voice inbox at speakpipe.com/BNN. BNN Live is presented by our title sponsor, RoadPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our major sponsors, Jackson's, Taco Bell, Idaho Central Credit Union, Lithia Ford of Boise, and the Blue and Orange store. For more coverage of Boise State athletics, check out the all-new BroncoNationNews.com, now part of the 247 Sports family. Now, here's five-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning, Bronco Nation, and welcome to Lithia Ford of Boise. Welcome to game day eve for the Boise State football team. We got the big matchup with Appalachian State tomorrow night, and Mike Prater and I, we're riding in style today. We are at Lithia Ford of Boise about to take this F-150 Lightning for a spin. 2025, it's an electric vehicle, and we're happy to be here at Lithia Ford of Boise. It's a beautiful day. We'll see if we can not get pulled over on the side of the road here momentarily, but love this vehicle, love Lithia Ford of Boise and Jim Sturkin, appreciate them. And Mike Prater, you know what? I said, hey, Jim, show me where the engine is. Let's take a look at this bad boy. There's nothing there.
What?
It's empty.
What?
Pretty cool. He's like, hey, why don't you put your backpack in there? I said, okay, maybe I will. But they got power outlets in there, power outlets in the back. You want to talk about powering up a tailgate setting, that would certainly be one of them. But we are literally in. Is this a first for you, Mike Prater?
This is the nicest truck I've ever sit in. Not only did there's no engine there. He did say tailgate sitting, but he said you could drop ice in there. It takes care of itself. It leaks out by itself. You could fill it up with ice and drinks. It's like a cooler in your engine.
Yes, it had literally four power outlets. You could plug in a TV or a speaker or whatever. They got more power outlets in the back. Yes, someone said, is this cordless? Yes, it is a cordless, wireless, electric F-150 Lightning. And Jim was telling me for like $400, you can buy the necessary equipment to charge it at your house overnight, but you don't even need to. If you just drive it around town, you can go a couple days or a week without even having to charge it up. So hopefully you guys can hear us okay, see us okay. And we tried this 2 weeks ago, Mike, with Jay Tuss. We did not get in a wreck. We did not get pulled over. And we said, you know what, Mike, let's give it a shot again. So appreciate you for wanting to stop by, and a little bit of a buzz on a Friday, getting ready for a game day. We'll just kind of see where we end up. I was mentioning yesterday, Mike, we should try to make the, Ice Speed Show, whatever his name was. He was in town, a couple days ago, and there were people lining the streets, banging on his vehicle. And I was mentioning yesterday if we can get that done today for you. So I didn't tell you this, but I secretly put our route out there, in public, and there may be, signs on street corners and things. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, that's a little scary to me. And this is fun. I told the family, I said, guys, I'm taking off. We're going to go do some carpool karaoke. I think there was some late night TV show guy that used to do this kind of stuff. Just don't make me sing. We can sit here and talk about BSU football and all that kind of stuff. So, and I just real quick to get it out of the way, this truck is just a little bit different than my Subaru. So, I got to make a Subaru joke for my guys over there at Subaru, but
thanks to them for letting you do this.
And thanks for them for letting me do this.
Yes.
And it takes a village to sell cars, as they like to say in the industry. And everybody respects and everybody loves what Jim Sturck does in his relationship with Boise State, all the way from small behind the scenes stuff to student athletes getting money and being high profile that way. So I love all these people. I love Rob. I love Jim. I love this whole group of people and their commitment to Boise State athletics and their commitment to this community. So let's get after it. Let's have some fun today.
Now I fired this thing up and it's got the same little power button, but there's no, starting up of an engine, Mike Prater. You would have never, you would have never, I kept waiting for something to happen and nothing happened here, but he said it's a much quieter ride. He also did caution me, Mike, that similar to an electric versus gas golf cart, it's a little quick on the trigger here. He said, get out on the open road and, give it. I guess you're not giving it gas, but hit the pedal a little bit. And this thing's got a pretty quick pickup, I understand.
Can we get it on the interstate and get up to 80?
You know what? That might be something we could try to do. We were figuring out where to go. Dylan Cooper saying, don't let Prater drive.
What? I'm a good driver. Now, not with a microphone in my head. Well, we're live on YouTube. So, but yeah, it'd be kind of fun to do it. And I'm going to have to take this sucker for a spin one of these days.
Now, I'm going to, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I don't want to be holding the microphone while we're driving here. So I'm going to lower my mic. Can you guys still hear me okay? Can you see us okay? I think you can. But I raise my microphone volume, Prater, so I can talk while we're driving here. I think we're good to go, Mike Prater. I think we're good to go. By the way, we are going to have Andrew Meadow join us. They're doing a clothing drive. That was kind of cool, actually, right, Mike? The little clothing drive they're doing down there at BSU. Andrew Meadow going to join us here in about 40 minutes or so. So looking forward to talking to him.
I appreciate it, and I love that controversy last week. I love a good controversy, especially when it involves one of my favorite football teams. And I love the way R.J. Keene and Andrew Meadow and his guys have handled it, and I love the response that they came up with. So the fact that they're doing this clothing drive is very, very cool. And I was down at Boise State yesterday, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about scheduling. And I spent some time with Jeremiah Dickey. During my process, I found out it was all Chris Kutz's idea. So he's the athletic director in charge of communications down there, and he just had this random idea. What if we do this, guys? And R.J. Keene said, heck yeah, and kind of sprouted. They got the social media team involved, and you saw some of that stuff. So I thought that was a very cool response. I cannot wait to see what Andrew Meadow has to say and how that goes tomorrow.
Yeah, Keene's been out there, Meadow's been out there, and yet it was Pearson Carmichael that posted it to Instagram.
That's right. Let's
get him before the media here at some point. But no, I think they're handling it. It was an honest mistake, and they're obviously moving on from it, but they tried to turn a negative into a positive, and even my kids have a couple old jerseys that don't fit them anymore, and they're coming down to their first game of the season tomorrow and might go over there and throw something in the bin. So pretty cool that they're doing that.
Yeah, although I would not call it I was on the side of the other. Let kids be kids. It's not that big a deal. I definitely see both sides, and Jeremiah and I had a pretty hearty conversation about that yesterday because he obviously put out his statement. But I wouldn't call it a mistake. I can see why people would say that. I just think I guess it's a learning opportunity, but much ado about nothing, and just a lot of fun for some kids having some fun.
Bronco 130 says, let's put Prater in the back seat to get an idea on the leg room. There's
plenty of leg room.
There's pretty good sized leg room over there.
Plenty of leg rooms. I got short legs, though. I'm a big guy, but I got short legs. I'm not sure I would be the best, but I could easily fit back there. Heck, you could fit a whole family back there. There's a lot of room back there.
Mike, when we turn and stuff, just kind of maybe grab a small handle just to make sure when we turn or something that we don't have the laptop go flying here. But, Mike, Appalachian State, tomorrow night, the spread continues to rise a little bit. Last I saw was like 16 and a half, I think. I'm not sure exactly on that. I guess the status of their quarterback is a little bit in doubt because he left the game early. And I don't want to say paper tiger because they're 2-1, but they obviously have put up some pretty impressive passing stats against, not so impressive teams. They've played Charlotte, Lindenwood, and Southern Miss.
Lindenwood? What the hell's a Lindenwood?
Hey, they're from St. Louis here. Let's
Lindenwood.
Lindenwood Lions. Come on. They were D2, D3. They just moved up to the FCS level, I believe, in the last couple of years. So they're making the transition to the FCS level here. So block your face maybe with that thing there. We'll see if that helps. There we go.
Paper tiger is a good way to say it. I mean, these guys are good statistically on paper. A lot's been made about they're the number 3 passing offense in the United States of America right now, and I guess that's something to keep an eye on, and it's certainly a good test, regardless of how good they are for Boise State secondary. That'll be the one thing we keep an eye on more than anything else tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk about the secondary and Demario Warren and the, Jeremiah Irby and these corners and in the secondary and the passing play. I mean, they're 86th in the country right now in pass defense, and they've played an FCS team and a triple option team. I know the Air Force game, the coaches were kind of saying, hey, it's a lot different. It's just man-to-man. You can't really scheme for the passing game for them. You're focused on the run. I understand that. Any, for you, larger concerns with the secondary, and I guess going into this game where it is a number 3 passing offense in the nation? I mean, are you expecting them to get some big passing plays in this one?
Well, they're going to probably take their shots, and they're going to be successful on a couple of them. And my concern is this has been going on too long. I don't know if it's fixable at this point, whether it's the coaching, whether it's the scheme, whether it's the players, and the long sample size that we have. It's probably a combination of all the above. But so I don't think it's going to get fixed. I think at this point it is what it is. And and App State's going to take its shots, and App State's going to probably get a couple. That's what Boise State's defense does. The talent level here is going to be the difference, and Boise State should be just fine on Saturday. I expect them to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns and not a problem. But there's going to be some angst with this secondary, and it's not going to go away. We've seen these cornerbacks. We've seen the scheme. We've seen what this coaching staff can do when it comes to the secondary, and it dates all the way back to last year. So we're 12, 14, 16, 18 games into this experiment, and nothing has changed. And I don't expect it to change. It is what it is, and they're going to have to deal with it all season long. I think it's not like all of a sudden there's going to be a miracle and they're going to be great back there. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow, and hopefully it doesn't burn them down the road.
He's Mike Prater. My name is BJ Rains. We are driving around Boise in an F-150 Lightning. Who knows where we're going to end up? I guess we'll just go back to BSU again, Prater. I don't know. We're just kind of driving around. We got 45 minutes to kill. We'll see where we end up, but we're having fun driving around, talking what a lot of people in town are probably doing, driving around at the water cooler, at the lunch table, Prater, talking about this game tomorrow night and then getting ready for it.
God, I love this. This is so stinking cool. You told me we were going to do this, and I thought, let's do it. So
I wasn't sure if you'd be all for it, Mike. You like to kind of stick to your, I don't think you like to take a ton of risks, do you? I mean,
I don't like to. I like. Whoa!
This wasn't our fault here.
Whoa! No, a little tiny red thing that would get squashed by a truck like this.
I don't think it's either one. I don't know if that's your other. We won't mention the dealership. I don't know if they have anything to do with your other dealership or not.
Right here on Fairview, just pulls a U-turn right in front of us. Are you kidding me?
Probably about double our age combined was the driver of the age there. So
now let me ask you this question: if we weren't on live YouTube right here representing the fine folks at Lithia and the fine folks at Bronco Nation News, would you have hit the horn when that happened?
Does an electric vehicle have a horn? I'm not even sure here. We could probably. Oh, it does.
There it goes. It was a delayed horn.
Yes, it does have a horn. Yes, and it sounds similar. But that they tried to kind of pull a Yui, I guess, and didn't really make the curb, and almost. If I wasn't paying attention, there could have been a little bit of a an issue. But
that was good. That's a typical.
That wasn't on me though. That was 100% on.
I got your back on that one.
Who would have thought, Mike Prater, when you got in this industry, that you'd be doing a podcast while driving around in an electric vehicle?
I'll never forget. I bet you at this point, it was about 15 years ago, and I'm sitting in a meeting at the Idaho Statesman, and somebody walked in and said, I need your reporters to start doing video. I go, what does that even mean?
Was that your last day at the Idaho State?
No, it took me a couple of years to figure it out. But I thought, video, what is that? And yes, we have evolved to this point, and it's cool. I got no problem with it. I love the evolution. I love the change, and it's a pretty cool deal. I never would have thought I'd be sitting here on YouTube with a microphone, driving down the street, and a live TV camera. Nice setup.
In an electric vehicle.
In an electric vehicle with no engine and a tailgate set up in the front of my hood. And I can stick my golf clubs in there if I had to.
Let's try to, we're at the stoplight here, seeing if we got any good comments. I do feel kind of like that I Show Speed guy. I mean, maybe we're on our way to 44 million YouTube followers as well. But who gets the first carry tomorrow? Tomorrow. Who gets the first carry for Boise State?
Ooh, it won't be Sire Gaines. I don't.
I could see why it might be. To be honest, they want to remind folks that he's still there and that he's had a full week of practice and he's. If you look at the depth chart, still listed as a starter.
I mean, the right answer for me is obviously Dylan Riley, but I also don't want to get rid of Sire Gaines. Malik Sherrod's role should not change. Malik Sherrod should get 8 to 10 carries no matter what. And I think
a couple screen passes too would be nice.
A couple screen passes, and obviously he takes care of business in the return game. So I don't think Malik Sherrod's role changes. 100% the same. What the carry distribution between Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines is, that's going to be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, and you were there yesterday. We talked to James Montgomery. You kind of like his chuckle when I asked about the depth chart?
I did. Dylan Riley, number 3. That's a good one.
He goes, yeah, we know about the depth chart. I forget his phrase exactly. Well, we know we're not going to get pulled over for speeding following behind this lady. I'll say that, Mike Prater.
Is that the same lady?
It is the same lady, yes. It is the same lady. We are passing KTVB, heading onto the connector, and we are going a nice 20 miles per hour here.
And she's got her blinker on, and it's going the wrong way. And, oh, my God. We're about to merge on an interstate doing 15 miles an hour, guys, and she's slowing down. We're slowing down. We're slowing down behind this poor lady. Maybe we should follow her and make sure she's braking now. She's braking. No. She's braking.
Oh, live commentary here.
I hope that's not my mother. I hope that's not my mother. I'll leave that at that. Well, you're going to get to a Ridley's commercial here. We're doing our show later on today at Ridley's.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah,
we're doing our Ridley show today in Kuna, where my mother lives, and my mother's threatening to show up to our show for the first time ever today. And I hope that's not her. That would. Oh, there's another
They're
car.
Honking at him. They're honking at us. It's not us. It's this lady up here. Now she's trying to get over.
And her blinker's still going, and she's wrestling in traffic.
Part of me wants to turn the camera around the other way here, Mike Prater, but I don't know what the rules are and all that, so we're going to let that go. But the only problem is I'm left here, right?
You're good.
This white piece of paper on my window about 3 times out of the corner of my eye. I thought it was
I'm going to wave to her. Have a nice day, lady. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. I hope you're still with us at the end of the day.
The running game, though. We were talking about the running game, and we may lose signal at some point here for a second as we go through downtown. But how do you see this working, Mike Prater? I know it's a good problem to have, as Spencer Danielson said, but maybe it's because I hang around you too much, but I'm starting to get cynical with some of my thoughts and negative, and it's the fact that you think about this 4-game rule and all this stuff. I mean, Appalachian State's the 4th game. If Sire Gaines gets 4 carries again and he's like, you know what, that's 4 games. I'm not going to waste another year. I'm out of here. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you have to, put a 1% chance or at least a 1% thought in your brain about how do you manage players and keep them happy and keep them, want to keep them here in this NIL era. And this is game 4 on Saturday, and you've got 3 guys. I mean, I think Malik Sherrod kind of knew his role coming in. He's here for 1 year. He's going to be his guy. But I think about both Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines. How do you give them enough action where I know it's a team game, but it's also I want to get paid game, and it's a personal game too, and that's certainly changed. Any thoughts there on how you use these guys and how you keep them happy?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think it is the number 1 storyline for tomorrow. It really, truly is in terms of how the running back is going to be used, because I think it's going to give us a clear picture and a clear window into what these coaches are thinking. And right now, I'm not sure. I think they could go any specific way, and you'd have to think that way, the way you just talked about in this day and age. And let's even throw in a Breezy Dubar. What's he thinking right now? In terms of I'm not even going to get on the field this year. So at this point,
part of that's him his personal doing. But yeah, whenever he's back, good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he could easily be an RB1 if he was healthy, and right now he's just non-existent. Something is going to happen. Sherrod's only here for 1 year, so that'll open up a spot. But yeah, I mean, between Dylan Riley and Sire Gaines, who wants to be the alpha male running back? That's going to, I mean, Dylan Riley will be the alpha male running back tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how much they use Sire.
Is this what's your gut tell you about Dylan Riley? Is this a cool story, cool couple games, or is he like a 1,000-yard rusher, for this team moving forward here?
I think he could be a 1,000-yard rusher. Absolutely. I think you could put a lot of, I mean, think about this, the scheme that they have, the offensive line that they have, which is just absolutely dominant. And, the strength of this football team right now is the running back and the offensive line. And you put those two together and you got magic, you got power. And Spencer Danielson says this is a run-first team. And, I mean, the play calling has been way more balanced than that. I think it's like 108 to 104 when it comes to the play calling. You may want to, Prater's breathing a little heavy. You may want to hit your defrost here because the windows are fogging up.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I can get to that with our current setup here. We're going to be at BSU in a couple minutes and we'll pull over. How about that?
There we go.
Can you wait 2 more minutes?
Well, I don't care about
it. It is a little cold in here. I agree.
Well,
we know the air conditioner works.
There we go. I'm going to crack the window there. That should help with the defrost a little bit. But yeah, I think it's fascinating what's going to happen with this running game, because you have to play that game in terms of personnel and down the road and decisions. Sire Gaines is so loyal to this program, but I don't ever remember visualizing him in this situation. And I don't think he visualized himself in this situation of a guy who's still his body. I don't know if his body is cooperating. And this is a kid who had a lot of work in high school and he had 0 injury problems. I think he missed 1 game in high school. And then that injury last year was a fluke. You can't really say his body's going to take over based on that injury last year. But now 2 or 3 different times he's been hurt and limited. I have to worry about the health of Sire Gaines. So maybe even you tell him psychologically, dude, we're going to ease you back. We're going to take care of your body. You're going to get 8 to 10 carries. Dylan Riley's our guy. We're going to ride the hot hand. I think Dylan Riley gets the first carry tomorrow. I hope they don't rotate in and out those first couple of series. Let's see what he can establish and get going. But it'll be really interesting to see how they use Sire Gaines as well.
Speaking of injury concerns, updates, any concern with Maddox Madsen? We were told by Spencer Danielson yesterday that he's ready to roll, but we were also told that he was a little bit limited in practice this week. And we all saw the injury and saw him come back. And it's one thing, Mike, to kind of maybe take some sort of medication or shot or something, and adrenaline kicks in and you're able to get through the game. It's another those next couple days and leading into the next game. We still don't know. I mean, a lower left leg injury, I guess, is what hockey would say, a lower body injury. But in terms of ankle, at one point it looked like the knee. I mean, it was obviously a very scary situation. But any concern about how Maddox plays tomorrow? And with Notre Dame on tap, do you at all think about giving Max Cutforth a little action tomorrow? Or
yeah, I mean, you want this football game to get out of hand in the second half, no doubt about it. And even if it does get out of hand, I don't think Spencer Danielson's up for any kind of substitutions until they get into the fourth quarter. That's kind of been his MO. So I need to see a little bit of Max Cutforth tomorrow. He's earned it. I need to see the experience. I need to see what he can do in terms of that. The Maddox Madsen thing, I don't think it's a knee. It appears to be an ankle, and that's certainly a comfort right there.
Anything else offensively? It was nice to see Latrell Caples get involved. Chris Marshall, I think, only had the 1 catch, had a drop. I mean, the tight ends have been a story this week. They both got involved. Matt Louder got in the end zone with his first touchdown of the year. Back-to-back 500-yard games of offense. There was a lot of, I don't know if heat's the right word, but some talk about Nate Potter after that first game against South Florida, and he's rebounded back-to-back 500-yard games, first time in 6 years for this program they've done that, which is crazy to think about. But they almost had back-to-back 600-yard games. They were 15, 20 yards away from that. So any thoughts on the offense as a whole and Nate Potter the last couple of games?
I thought he was creative, and I thought he was brilliant in the last game. I really thought he did a fantastic job with the play calling and the way he took care of business and the way he rode the hot hand with Dylan Riley. When we criticized Nate Potter, I think we were nitpicking, and this guy was a rookie doing it for the very first time. And I think he's shown significant growth over the last couple of games, and I like what he's doing. So I've always felt, I need guidance and help in my life, as everybody knows. And I always take what Dirk Cutter says.
Hey, Prater, hold on. Sorry to cut you off. And it's another station or another one that's not neither of our companies. Look to the right there. Is that the one the Bronco Chris Peterson was driving in the commercial? Maybe
I believe that might be. That might be.
That's a retro, old school Ford Bronco right there. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Maybe Chris Peterson's hanging out.
Now, I do want to mention quickly, we are right here at the Plaza Hall of Fame. Sorry to cut you off, Prater. They are doing a non-perishable food items drive, and you see a couple of these vehicles out here. You can bring down non-perishable food items, canned goods, whatever else, today or tomorrow before the game, and you can put them in the back of one of these vehicles. There's another Lightning right there, and you can bring down any non-perishable. Is that what it's called? Non-perishable.
Yeah.
Vehicle. I'm going to pull over for a second and fix our defrost situation. But if you have a non-perishable food item, you can bring that down today or tomorrow. So maybe you bring your Utah jersey in one hand, Mike, and a bag of canned goods in the other.
I like that idea. I got a couple of old Utah jerseys that I'd like to get rid of. As a matter of fact, there are times I like to get rid of all of my Utah jerseys, but that's a whole nother story. So, you got that? Okay, there you go. Look at you.
So we have this. I don't know how we're doing this here, but how do we turn down the? Maybe it's on full.
There's
blast
Max.
here.
There's Max.
Oh. It's touchscreen and it's really nice, and we're trying. There you go. There, put Prater on the technology. That always seems to work out pretty well here.
Well, I don't know about that.
But you're lowering the temperature down pretty good here. It was already.
I was just trying to
maybe turn the blaster down a little bit.
That's what I was looking for is the fan.
Would it be right here? Maybe. No, that's the audio for the volume. No, where are we at here on the? Well, either way, we're gonna make it work somehow. It's a very nice vehicle. We'll tell you that.
I don't know. What do those buttons mean?
The radio. It's the radio. It tells us where we are here. We've gone 3.0 miles. I would have guessed it was a little further than that on this.
That's pretty wild.
I just got a text. It's probably Jim Sturk telling me how to turn down the air. But we can certainly. It's certainly nice and cold in here. The AC certainly works. And I'm sure it's an easy button that we're not figuring out here. But well, we'll make do, Mike Prater.
We're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine here. So
I might turn that up a little bit because wouldn't that help with the defrost? Why do you have it so cold?
Well, I thought maybe it was the you're right. I thought maybe it was the fan.
All right. Well, we'll make it work. Mike, a sellout crowd. Sorry, you were talking offense and Nate Potter.
Yeah,
Sorry to cut you off.
I just think he's done a nice job. I think he did a really nice job. So you can literally see growth from game to game with Nate Potter, and I think that's a consensus. It's hard for any college football fan of any team to come to a consensus on anything right now. But I think we all agree that Nate Potter is growing up right before our very eyes. That doesn't mean he's going to be brilliant down the road, but I think he's growing. I think he's into it. Dirk Cutter, my whole point was that Dirk Cutter told us that this guy was going to be really, really good. Dirk Cutter's not going to lie. He's not going to BS you. And when Dirk Cutter says it, you kind of have to trust Dirk Cutter. So I know that first game wasn't really a spectacular moment for Nate Potter. I thought he was bad in that game, right off on that first series, putting 3 running backs and setting the tone in that very first series at South Florida. That was not good, but he's certainly grown. You can see it, and I thought he was creative. I thought he was brilliant in the last game, and I think nothing but better times ahead for Nate Potter.
Hey, shout out to our title sponsor, Andy Rowe and RowePaint.com. RowePaint.com, all your painting needs. Make sure you hit up Andy Rowe, our title sponsor, RowePaint.com, concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, Andy Rowe and RowePaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, great to see that ICCU logo back inside the stadium and where it should be. Idaho Central Credit Union, Mike Prater is also an ICCU member. I know Jay Tust is as well. And you see 7 student athletes they have NIL deals with. They have some other great things going on. ICCU, make the switch today at ICCU.com. Yesterday, Johnny and I did the show over at Taco Bell, and you all saw Johnny. Johnny's the best, scarfing down a quesadilla on his way out of the parking lot for us. Love Taco Bell, love Johnny Ballgame, but appreciate Taco Bell for their support of Bronco Nation News. I know they're the hotline sponsor for you guys as well.
Yep.
TacoBellWorks.com, the SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, and never a bad time to go get some Taco Bell. So we're going to be flag football tonight. It'll probably be a third night this week, probably heading to Taco Bell there, Mike.
I told this to Johnny, and I don't tell this people to a lot. I don't know why. It's because it's not probably because it's not that big a deal. You know what my Taco Bell tradition is?
What's that?
And it's been going on for probably about 15 years. After every home game, when we wrap up Bronco game night at night, doing our post-game show, I am required to come home with 6 tacos. It doesn't matter if it's 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock.
You only give 1 to Tempe? Come on.
3 to Tempe, 3 to me. Every single home game, Prater stops at Taco Bell and brings home not 4, not 5. I have to bring home 6 tacos, and it doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the evening. So that is my home game Boise State football tradition, always Taco Bell.
Well, hopefully Johnny brought you a quesadilla yesterday because I bought him like 3, so I don't know where they ended up.
He ate them all.
Hey, Jackson's 99-cent coffee anytime, day or night at Jackson's. They got some great deals going. You can get all your beer and snacks before your tailgate at that location right there on the corner. And while you're there, pick up those trading cards. $12.99 for the trading cards with and 1 in 10 get you a chance at an autographed pack. So you can do that courtesy of our friends over at Jackson's. We're right outside the Hall of Fame, Mike, where the blue and orange store is. And they've got the jerseys and caps. And I saw when I was in there yesterday, they were selling the Dylan Riley jerseys. Pretty cool the way that works. And they've got Dylan Riley jerseys for sale. And we're going to talk to Andrew Meadow, but this is where they want you to bring the clothing for the canned food drive. So we appreciate them. And Matt Boucher Real Estate, appreciate him. #1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, online at BoucherRealEstate.com. You said you're going to be at Ridley's today, Mike.
Ridley's at in Cuna. Ridley's there off Meridian Road and Deer Flat Road. And come by and say hi to me and Johnny Ballgame. Come by and hang out with Mark and the gang. Pete Cavender is going to be hanging around with us. So it'll be a kind of a fun little deal. So I know we got a lot of listeners for both these shows out there in the Cuna area. So come by and say hi and support a local sponsor, guys.
Transportation Compliance Service, transcomservice.com. If you want to get into the trucking industry, you can do it at transcomservice.com and speakpipe.com/BNN. Leave us a voicemail if you'd like to. It's brought to you by Signature Roofing, covering our community for more than 2 decades. Whether it's a re-roof, repair, an estimate, or inspection, you can do that at mysignatureroofing.com. And Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. Whether it's a sauna, whether it's a spa, whether it's a pool table, they got you covered. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game. And we appreciate them for their support of Bronco Nation News. Now it's starting to get hot on my seat, Mike Prater. So I don't know what we might need to, before we head back out here. You want to turn, how do we?
We may have hit the seat.
We may have made it worse than we did before. Yes. Oh, we have full blast on the seat here, and you had it on hot. All right, come on. How do I? All right, that's now off. Is yours off? Yours is on.
Yeah, my butt's getting warm. That's not a good thing.
No. All right, we'll go back to, I guess, the 70 or 68 maybe.
Yeah. So look at a couple of fools trying to hit a bunch of buttons.
You know what? Oh, that's probably the temperature. All right, well, we'll give it our best shot. All right.
There we go.
I got to get you back to Lithia Ford so you can move on with your day here, Mike Prater. You said you talked to Jeremiah Dickey. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get you that column today. I wanted to go to Jeremiah Dickey scheduling school, and Jeremiah Dickey, since that South Florida game and all the controversy about that loss and all the controversy about Boise State and its this constant opening up of the season on the road, it's ridiculous what's happened over the last 10 years. It's ridiculous what's going on over the next 6 or 7 years in terms of how many road openers that they have. And I know that the controversy was real. And Jeremiah Dickey's constantly saying, guys, it's more complicated than you think. There's a lot behind the scenes that are going on here. So I wanted to know. Curious minds want to know. And so when he says things like that, I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. So I asked for some time with him this week. I asked for 30 minutes. Jeremiah gave me 90 minutes yesterday. I apologize to everybody else who screwed up the schedule. We spent 90 minutes yesterday. Jeremiah Dickey scheduling school, and just kind of
Jeremiah says, "Hey, we missed out on that big donor because I missed the meeting."
I know,
and they gave the money to Idaho instead or something. We're gonna know who to blame.
Once again, it's Prater's fault, but that's okay. The scheduling.
Isn't this a beautiful campus, by the way?
Yeah, I've always thought that. I mean, it's
in the fall time when you got the leaves just starting to turn here in the shade. This is a beautiful. We're driving right by the student union here. Love this.
I love being on campus anywhere, and you get to travel more than I do. But just being on a campus and feeling the energy and feeling the vibe anywhere. Tomorrow will be my first home game of the season because I missed the season opener, the home opener against Eastern Washington. So I'm excited to I'm going to be down here 2 or 3 hours early. I'll walk the tailgate parties. I'll walk the campus, and it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But in terms of the scheduling, learned a little bit about the process. Learned a lot about the puzzle that he puts together. That's kind of the theme here. It's really a puzzle with a lot of moving parts. He's got a couple of games scheduled, and he'll work out. And nothing is finalized yet, and he'll come up with some announcements. But it's more about the philosophy of what they're doing and how they put this thing together. It's kind of fascinating how this schedule thing works.
Now, I know you're going to have that column coming at some point here. You obviously have a full-time day job on the radio that takes precedence. But one of the things that I've really been curious is what's going to happen with next year's schedule because of this. You only have 8 teams right now in the conference, which means 7 conference games. They've only got 4 non-conference games scheduled right now. You mentioned an FCS school. I mean, they've already got an FCS school scheduled. So I don't think they would play 2 FCS teams in the same year. I think you can only count one of them. Is that right? Unless that rule change, at one point you can only count 1 FCS game towards your win total.
I believe that is correct.
So I think that'd be a last case scenario. There has to be somebody out there. But I know you mentioned on the radio, an FCS team. I think that'd be a mistake if you're already playing one unless you move things around. But you have a couple options, and I know that schedules are changing because of the 9-game conference schedule in the SEC and some of this. So that is making some more group of 5 teams available to play because those games they had a game against Ole Miss and that got canceled. And they said, okay, we need a game. Okay, we'll go to Boise instead. But the other option is, and probably the, I guess, easiest option is one of those, all the conference teams, just find one of those conference games you're playing, just find a Colorado State or a Fresno State or somebody, and let's just play an extra game. Where if you get the home conference game, let's just play a non-conference game at our house or whatever. And I don't know how open some of those teams will be to giving up, having to go on the road to come back to Boise, knowing what that's all about. But for 1 year, I mean, it seems like that may be a serious option here. One of these Pac-12 schools just having to double up to get that 12th game in.
I think that's the likely scenario right now. I think you're 100% spot on when it comes to the FCS. I don't think that's going to happen. That would be a last case scenario. A mid-level group of 5. And I know other reporters out there reported that maybe the new Pac-12 was looking at some scheduling alliances, maybe with the Sun Belt Conference USA or the MAC. Let's hope it doesn't get too crazy there. I don't need to see a steady dose of any of those conference teams on the Boise State football schedule. But at this point, yeah, they're trying to do exactly what Oregon State and Washington State are doing this year. Those two teams are playing twice in November, and they just have to because they have to get through this year. Next year, Boise State's going to have to get through the 2026 year. Two things are going to happen. It's going to be the 7th home game, and Jeremiah Dickey wants 7 home games, and his quote was, from this point on. He wants 7 home games, period. End of conversation on the home schedule as long as he can possibly do them.
So that'd be four conference road games and 1 non-conference road game.
Correct. And moving forward, he's willing to do whatever, including international games, scheduling alliances, FCS this. But the one thing that he did talk about yesterday is the playing the 2 teams twice. And I don't like it. You probably don't like it. College football traditionalists don't like it. If you have to do it one time, you can pull it off. I have a feeling, though, that Jeremiah Dickey kind of likes it because I said, really, dude, you're really going to go there? And he goes, Prater. College sports are becoming professional sports. Everybody says college football now is professional football. I'm paying my athletes more money than I could ever possibly afford. That's my number one job right now, is to pay my athletes because we have professionalized college sports. And in the National Football League, in your division, you play everybody twice in 1 year. I know that's a little bit of a stretch. Nobody talks about that as an issue in the National Football League. When a schedule comes out and Boise State fans see such and such team on the schedule twice next year, there's going to be a lot of rumblings. I'll probably get pissed off and yell about it, but I certainly kind of understand the circumstances of why they're trying to do it. They're just trying to get by 1 year in this really weird scheduling era because everything changes next year. Everything's in a holding pattern. P4s are scheduling nobody right now because they're trying to figure out their conference schedule. We haven't even figured out CFP expansion. All that plays into a role. All of a sudden, I'm not a mouthpiece for Jeremiah Dickey's scheduling because I don't think he's that great of a scheduler, but I also understand the difficulties of getting it done. And I think next year you might see a double-up team.
Yeah, and the part of it is because those teams also need another game.
100%.
And so they're desperate. You're desperate. You have a good relationship with their AD. You can find a way to make it work. Did you get any kind of sense, though? You mentioned being a 1-year thing. Are they content, do you think, long-term? And maybe he didn't get into this, so maybe it's more of your opinion, but are they content with 8 football-playing members, or do you see them liking, maybe by 2027 or whatever, to getting to 9 so they can have the 8 conference game schedule?
I'm almost positive nothing is going to happen for the 26th season. And I think you can probably take that to the bank. Now, I think there could be an announcement in the next couple of months regarding the 27 season in terms of membership. So, yeah, I think they're open to it. The opportunities out there in terms of the teams that are out there are a little bit different. There's been some rumblings of the ACC trying to buy its way into maybe the Big 12 or some rumblings there. So is the ACC with Florida State and all the shenanigans, what's going on there? Are they going to kind of restart another round of realignment and how that plays out? I don't think we're going to get into that weeds, but those are some of the scenarios that are out there. So I'm not sure where they're going to go for a team right now. There's not a team available. They're not going to be desperate enough just to grab a team. Mm-hmm. And we've talked about like the Sacramento States of the world. Guys, that's not going to happen. They're making good decisions when it comes to that. So, yeah, this very well could be an 8-team league moving forward. And the scheduling nuances are weird, but Jeremiah Dickey says, I'll take it because that gives me the 7th home game.
And it would be a non-conference game if they play a team twice, right, for the second time. So that would just
Correct.
Be a weird I think was it Kansas State and Arizona played this year in a non-conference game because it was already set up before they joined the Big 12. So that wouldn't be crazy to happen either, to have conference teams play a non-conference game. The overseas game, I talked to Jeremiah about this last week, or when they announced that Kansas was going to go play Iowa State over, I believe, who was it, Iowa State, or I forget who? No, Arizona State and Kansas are going to play in England, I believe, and it's going to be the first college football game at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And just happened like an hour after that was announced. Jeremiah came on my show, and I asked him about international games, and he seemed to think that was a real possibility. And from hearing you talk on your show yesterday, I mean, I would put it at greater than 50%. Based on you, unless I'm misreading your comments, it seemed like it was something that was either already pretty far down the line or is definitely in the works in terms of more than just a thought for Jeremiah Dickey. And I guess, would it be a team already on their schedule that they would just move the game? Would it be a new team? What are the possibilities there?
We just talked about the concept. We never talked about the scheduling and who it would be. I think all options could be on the table there. Jeremiah Dickey's had conversations, and he wants to pull this off as soon as 2027. And he said these things come together really, really fast. There's third-party promoters out there that put this thing together, and they kind of take all the financial risks. So it's not like Jeremiah Dickey's putting together a travel party so we can go play Iowa State in Dublin, Ireland. It's a promoter who's putting it all together. I don't think there's any risk reward when it comes to finances. The concept of Boise State playing international games is very real. And I don't know if it's far down the line, but again, he's had conversations. He wants to make it happen. He thinks outside the box. He thinks Boise State has this national brand, which they do. He also thinks they have this international brand, which, I guess there's a little bit of that. They always brag about the ambassadors, the Blue Turf ambassadors, and 49 people from 49 different countries have signed the book, whatever that is. So there is a little bit of mystique nationally and internationally for the Blue Turf and for the Boise State brand. I think if Boise State went overseas and played one of those games, I think it'd be fantastic. Jeremiah Dickey definitely wants to pull that off, and he thinks it could happen as soon as 2027.
What about the Alaska game on the Blue Turf up in Alaska? Did that come up at all?
That did not come up at all. I've heard rumblings of that as well, and that would be spectacular. That might be one of those things that require a heck of a lot more logistics, but Burrow High School, I believe is what it's called.
And it's like on the one of the northernmost tips of Alaska, correct?
And the visuals, yes, and the visuals are stunning of this blue turf right next to the water. I mean, the blue turf at this high school in Alaska and the water are like 30 feet apart, and the visuals are stunning, and that would be spectacular. But that did not come up, and I'm sure that was really far down the road.
All right, as we have a couple minutes left here, Mike, until we drop you off back at Lithia Ford of Boise here. This team 2-1. You got the Notre Dame coming up next week, and like I said, I know it's not. I asked Spencer about it. Like, I don't think this is 1% a trap game because they lost that first game of the season. They know they can't afford anything like that. I just don't get any kind of sense that they're looking past Appalachian State, which if they were 3-0 right now, I think there may have been a bigger. And I mean, it's been the biggest game everyone's been talking about for 2 years or whatever since it was announced next week. But it does feel like even kind of locally, media, fans, everybody really are kind of talking about this game tomorrow first.
I get that same sense, which is kind of weird because Appalachian State versus Notre Dame and the hype and the buzz, the loss at South Florida really helped this football team become focused. And I think Spencer does a really nice job of keeping these guys on track. So they know they have issues. They know that they're not a smooth running machine right now. They know they have a quarterback who's banged up, a pass secondary that's been beat up for a long time, a pass team that's coming in with a pretty good quarterback. I'm not sure what kind of tools he has around him, and just because he's got a quote-unquote NFL arm doesn't make him a great quarterback. We'll see how it plays out. But I think there's enough angst on this football team right now that kind of just keeps them reined in, keep them a little bit humbled, keep them more focused on this game. And certainly if Boise State jumps out to, let's say they're leading by 2 or 3 touchdowns in the second half, all attention will turn to Notre Dame. Our attention will turn to Notre Dame. We can't get to that game fast enough.
Yeah, now what do you think's better for Boise State for interest, but also to have a chance maybe to win the game? Is that Arkansas and Taylor Green beating Notre Dame and a free fall at Notre Dame? They're 1-3 and everyone kind of going crazy, or would that kind of tick them off and lock them back in? And does a win maybe help Notre Dame look a little sexier for the game? What's on Notre Dame versus Arkansas tomorrow?
Yeah, I need Notre Dame to win that game big. And no offense to Taylor Green, who's being Taylor Green. He's doing flashes of great things and flashes of bad things, and I can't see Taylor Green. This game is at Arkansas, but I can't see Taylor Green pulling it off. It wouldn't surprise me, but I certainly wouldn't sit here and predict it. Yeah, I need Notre Dame to be as stout and mighty as possible. I need them to be like this pickup, just full of beast mode material and ready to go. So yeah, Notre Dame as high as possible. I don't know what they're ranked right now, but I need them to win big, and I need them to have all the credibility in the world so Boise State can go in there and take care of business.
Yeah, and somebody put on the chat there at the red light, I was checking, that maybe Notre Dame losing a couple has also helped curtail the hype a little bit of this game.
That certainly did. That certainly did help. Certainly did help.
You mentioned this being your first home game of the season, Mike. What are you looking forward to? And obviously, it's a different feel with that north end zone down there in the construction, which is crazy. Walls are going up now. I mean, by the day, that thing is getting more done. But 5:30, so you won't get the pregame light show, but you do get the third to fourth quarter kind of light show. And I know a lot of fans. I don't know how aware you were of this. You were gone for the week, but a lot of fans were talking about the sound system being real loud in that corner of, I don't know what they can do about it, because it's the way it's designed. There's only speakers at one end of the stadium, and to reach the people at the other end of the stadium, it's got to be louder for the people right sitting underneath it and next to it. And there were a lot of, I don't think I'm saying that, speaking out of tune, there were a lot of people that thought it was too loud and were complaining about it. Then you have the folks arguing with them, hey, it's a football game. If you're supposed to be loud, going back and forth on that. I know they have one less entrance now because of the North End Zone project. So there was some longer lines at some of the other ones, and they were asking folks to get in early. I didn't, in terms of getting into the stadium. They're still dealing with, obviously, the congestion on the concourses for the the older restrooms and concession stands and things. But overall, what are you looking forward to? What's your take on the game day experience here and game two? And what is this, the 12th consecutive sellout, 11th, 12th consecutive sellout at Albertson Stadium tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the vibe and just being on campus on a gorgeous day, and seeing what Boise State fans do, and the tailgates, the smells, the sounds, the signs. I'm looking for all that. It's almost like the game for me is going to be secondary. Once the game kicks off, it'll be fun to see how Boise State responds, because there's a lot of questions about this football team right now. But yeah, just being on the field. The sound thing is funny, because I heard both sides, and when I came back from my trip, I heard all kinds of stuff. For the most part, I thought everybody seemed like it was a pretty smooth season opener.
Do we have time for the Taco Bell drive-through here, Prater?
Absolutely. It seemed like it was pretty smooth, despite some of the issues that are going on with that stadium right now. The one sound, or the one complaint I did hear, was about the sound, but I heard plenty of other people say it was too loud. I heard people say it was too low. I heard people say it was too loud. Jeremiah Dickey said he thought it was low. He was talking to his staff, guys, crank it up.
Yeah.
And other people were complaining that it was too loud. So they're going to have, they've been complaining about that sound system at Albertson Stadium, Bronco Stadium, since I first started covering that football team in 1994. So it's always been an issue. I think they've made really nice progress with that sound system. This year is going to be a little bit different because of all the things they're doing, but I think tomorrow is going to be awesome. I think tomorrow is going to be fun. Hopefully it's a celebration of Boise State football, and they win a comfortable game and they can turn their attention to Notre Dame. But I just cannot wait to get out there and watch a little football and smell a little football.
It has to be the exact same time, though, as two of the biggest games of the season with Penn State, Oregon, and also Georgia, Alabama, literally at the exact same time.
I went back because I always like to chart the television numbers, and I went back last night when I got done playing around with the column a little bit. That South Florida game, by the way, drew 2 million people. Boise State, South Florida on ESPN had a television audience of 2 million people, and Boise State games, especially regular season games, don't quite get that kind of number. So that was a big, big number. Tomorrow, it's not going to be 2 million people. It's going to be pretty low. It's going to be LSU and LSU and Ole Miss, and it's Penn State, Oregon, and Georgia, Alabama are the 5:30 games tomorrow. So the nation will not be watching Boise State, App State tomorrow, but here in Boise, Idaho, we'll certainly be watching that game.
What do you just in terms of playing well and just getting maybe get the defense gets a couple turnovers? I mean, that would be obviously welcomed in a big way, but just getting a good feeling, getting that third win in a row. I mean, how important is just, I don't want to say style points, but just the getting a good feeling on both sides of the ball, maybe having your field goal kicker make a kick or two. I mean, it would be nice to kind of have a little bit of I don't want to say a get right game, because you've won, a couple in a row, but just a really nice game from start to finish, get that third win in a row, and really feel like you're on a nice roll here heading into South Bend.
My first eyes are going to be trained on Maddox Madsen and how he looks and how smooth the offense looks under him for the first couple of series. I'm definitely going to be keeping a close eye on Maddox Madsen and that situation. I'll be a little bit, and that's in terms of just the football health of this team. The curiosity factor will be see who runs the ball first, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Here's what I need to see most from tomorrow, though, and you pointed it out. I need to see interceptions. I need to see takeaways, and I need Irby. I need McCoy.
What's your stat on those guys? 2 interceptions in the last
17 games. Last 17 games combined, going back to last year, those 2 starting cornerbacks each have 1 interception, a total of 2. That's not enough, because all the negative plays, and that's not enough positive plays. Can I get an Irby McCoy double interception game? I mean,
one each.
One each.
You're getting greedy here, Mike.
I'm getting greedy. I need an Irby McCoy interception game, one each. I don't think that's too much to ask for. App State's going to throw the ball 30, 40, 50 times tomorrow, and I need both those dudes to come up with interceptions because the angst there, it'll be good for their confidence. It'll be good for the confidence of Boise State fans. That Notre Dame game is going to be pesky, and those two dudes need to be as A game, and we're not seeing the A game. I need to see a couple picks tomorrow.
Well, Mike, what do we got coming up on Idaho Sports Talk today? You said as we pull back into the Lithia parking lot here, and we are going to have Andrew Meadow joining us here shortly, but you guys still be at the Ridley's in Kuna.
Yeah, Ridley's in Kuna. Appreciate Mark having us out there and very much looking forward to that. We're going to open up the show, and I apologize, and I've yet to do the homework on how to say his last name, but the artist who did the Boise State front porch helmet is going to join our show right at 3:15, and we're going to talk about that beautiful helmet and that beautiful story, the front porch of Idaho, and we're going to talk about that. So then we're going to get down to all the other stuff, get you ready for some football, and have a lot of fun today. So it's Football Friday. We're going to have our six-pack ball game tonight, and we're going to talk some. It's one of the great college football weekends that we've seen in a long, long time around here. So I'm very much looking forward to.
Don't let the laptop close.
Yeah, yep. There you go. We're putting this sucker in reverse. It's going to be a fantastic day of football. I'm going to get up tomorrow like we all will and kind of get in the mode and see how it is. But it's going to be a beautiful day of football tomorrow.
Well, how about that was a fun show, right?
That was different.
Yeah.
Different. Thank you for not making me sing karaoke. I really do appreciate that. And that's Jim Sturk was right. That thing is smooth and that thing is quiet. Of course, a couple blowhards talking. We couldn't hear anything else, but it was fun, man. And you didn't get in a wreck.
I didn't. No. Well, we appreciate you for jumping on, Mike. We'll be. There's a small chance. I'll have to see because I've got to be somewhere at 5:30. But I love Ridley so much. There's a small chance, Mike, I may come do my segment in person today.
4:15.
We'll see.
Raines, Bronco Nation News Report on Idaho Sports Talk, and we'll get you ready for the game there as well. So we'll get your perspective. And yeah,
is Mark going to be there?
He was. We did a Ridley show a couple weeks ago. I wasn't in town for that one, but Mark did show up for that one. Right. I hope he does.
If Mark's, no offense to you guys, but if the sponsor's there, I may make an appearance.
Come out and hang out with us at Ridley's in Kuna today.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for doing this, man.
Thanks for keeping us safe, and thanks for. I had fun. This was great.
Yeah, it was a fun little
Appreciate
thing.
It, man.
Well, we're going to let you roll, and we're going to keep this thing going. We are going to have Andrew Meadow join us. You can maybe let Jim Sturk know also that we'll chat with him briefly for a minute as well. But fun times, Mike. Thanks a lot, man. We'll be watching and listening Idaho Sports Talk 3 to 6 today as they get set for tomorrow's game against Appalachian State. So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit here. I know that's what everybody wants to see is more of me on the screen here. But again, Andrew Meadow, he's coming up shortly, so don't go anywhere. Andrew Meadow, if you have a question for him, a thought for him, he is going to join us shortly. They had the whole incident down in Utah, but they're turning it into a clothing drive. So we're going to talk to Andrew Meadow about, what's going on with the clothing drive and moving past that incident. And obviously that was something that, they're putting them in front of the media and want them to talk about it. Then we're going to move on and it'll be over with. But we are here at Lithia Ford of Boise and Jim Sturk and company. We appreciate them for their support and help here on Bronco Nation News and F-150 Lightning, unbelievable vehicle here. Having a lot of fun. And if you really do want to find someone that supports Boise State, I mean, Jeremiah Dickey, Spencer Danielson, they're driving vehicles from Lithia Ford of Boise. Others, including players, they have the NIL deals and things. You're not going to find somebody that supports NIL and Boise State more than Jim Sturk and Lithia Ford of Boise. So, and how about this? We're talking about Jim, and he jumps in the car here for a few minutes. So, appreciate you, Jim, for jumping in. Microphone's here somewhere for you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, what a vehicle here. We turned it on, and I didn't even know it was on, by the way. It's pretty incredible how quiet it is.
It is a little different, isn't it?
The first problem is that we could not figure out how to turn the air down. How do you turn down the air? That's as easy as it is.
Yeah, it's right there.
All right, wherever Mike is. We had to pull over because it was starting to defrost a little bit, and we were frost up, and we were getting some condensation on the windshield, and we couldn't figure it out. So that was Jim, of course, did it in about 2 seconds. But
so it is an F-150. But it's different.
Which I have an F-150 from you, but it is different. Purchased it here and love it. But tell us about this vehicle here and just maybe the electric vehicles that I know are becoming more and more common.
Well, yes, you're seeing more and more of them on the road as the infrastructure of charging stations and stuff is growing throughout the country, right? we didn't think it was going to be such a big deal here in Idaho, but it seems like it's beginning to be. And so you see more and more and more of them on the road, and there's more and more desire for them.
Yeah, and this one in particular, I mean, it is so quiet and so. I mean, you wouldn't probably know it if you didn't know it, but it's very quiet, and you said there's a little bit quicker pickup on the. When you hit the gas, it moves, or I guess it's not gas. I guess you're hitting the pedal, but it does move a little quick. It does move a little quicker. But this is everything else. The specifications and stuff are very similar to like a normal F-150.
Just
right?
F-150 with a big giant battery underneath it that powers it. It's the analogy I use with these electrics. It's like if you're a golfer, and you know how you have the lag on the gas golf carts. It's just kind of slow takeoff, but the electric ones just kind of jam and take off, and the power's instant. That would be the difference.
They were wanting Prater to get in the back to check out the leg room, but there's plenty of leg room. There's plenty of leg room back here. Tell us what else. I know you got some great deals and specials going on this weekend here at the dealership. I know we're looking at a nice 2024 Ford Expedition over here that's like $20,000 off on a manager special. But what folks are in the looking for a new vehicle this weekend? What do you got to offer here?
So there's a lot of great lease programs that Ford is incentivizing right now. Bronco Sport, F-150, and then the speaking of electric vehicles, the $7,500 EV credit that you get from the IRS that qualifies on a Ford Lightning, so the F-150 electric, ends on September 30th. It goes away and is no more. And so we're seeing a little bit of traction there. We do still have some in stock that qualify. There are specific ones that qualify for it.
Okay.
But $7,500 is no joke.
No, not at all. So some great specials, great deals all weekend out here. And I know we wanted to mention the drive, non-perishable food items. There's a couple when we drove through. We saw another Lightning electric vehicle and another vehicle, I believe, a couple trucks already parked out there on the Ford Plaza down by the stadium. But you were hoping folks bring some non-perishable food items down either today or before the game tomorrow.
Yes, we have a truck here on the showroom that is pretty full.
You can do it here as well.
Plenty of room. And also we have a truck down. I think it was in the Hall of Fame Plaza, but we moved it over to the volleyball gym, front of the volleyball gym, just because of the football game and all that stuff that goes on down there.
Okay.
But it's still there and it's still available, and you can fill it up.
Well, hopefully folks will do that non-perishable food items and bring that down. And we're going to be talking to Andrew Meadow shortly about the clothing drive. So you can bring your old jerseys in one hand, your bag of canned goods in the other, and help out multiple causes here, I guess. So final thing before we let you go, we talked to you coming off the loss to South Florida, but a little different feeling going into the game tomorrow. Two wins in a row, and you got that conference win at Air Force under your belt. And I know everyone's excited about next week in Notre Dame, but certainly you got a chance tomorrow to get 3 in a row and get a nice feeling. And it seems like they're starting to look a little more like the team we thought they'd be.
Well, certainly, the excitement for the Notre Dame game. So you hope that they don't look past Appalachian State, because they're kind of, a few years back, they were kind of the darling like we were back in the day. And I don't know much about them, so I don't know. I know that they've been rated. Their coaches have been rated over the past few years, and kind of like what happened here. But
Drinkwitz was there, and then from the old OC here went there for a year, and then now is at Missouri, and so they showed the team, I guess, the video of them beating Michigan and some of their favorite wins. So should be fun, Jim. By the way, what's the 0 to 60 time on this? Someone's asking.
I don't know.
Okay. They said hop out and let him do a donut. Lightnings are supposed to be able to rip it up. Is that
they rip?
Well, Jim, appreciate you as always, man. We're going to talk to Andrew Meadow here and keep this thing going for a few more minutes, but appreciate you for jumping on, and we'll see you at the game tomorrow.
Absolutely excited.
There he is, Jim Sturk. Appreciate you, Jim, for jumping on. You can just leave the mic right there. We'll be good to go, and we appreciate Jim for his support, and Jamie and the whole crew. It doesn't matter. You can just get out. You're good. Appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate Jim, one of the biggest supporters, obviously, of Boise State and Boise State athletics. And we're talking football. We're also talking basketball with the drive that's coming up tomorrow. And nice enough to join us for a couple minutes here is Andrew Meadow with the basketball team. Andrew, appreciate you for jumping on. Kind of a weird show today, literally broadcasting, driving around in a truck today. So appreciate you for making it work. I know you just got done with the workout, but how's it going, man?
Good. How about you?
Doing good, doing good. Appreciate you coming on. Hey, appreciate you doing this, man. We want to promote the clothing drive and kind of talk about what happened last week one time and move on and kind of just you turn this into a positive here. So I guess just the clothing drive and what's behind it. Let's just kind of start there and what you guys are hoping to accomplish tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, as everyone knows, we made a mistake down in Utah last weekend, but we're just all glad that we were able to, turn it around and make something good out of it. So for anyone that doesn't know, tomorrow at the game, you can bring any opposing gear, whether it's college, professional teams, and you can bring it down to the Hall of Fame Plaza, and we'll have bins there for you guys, and we're going to donate it to charity. So we're just happy to, bring something good out of a negative situation.
Yeah, and I know some fans don't care, but I know you guys did have some reasons why you were down there and some other things going on, some that you may want to get into, some that you may not. But what, I guess just to ask you one time and move on, what did happen? What was the reasoning behind the photo and everything?
We were just trying to blend into the crowd. It was an honest mistake. We didn't realize how far it would go, and we're learning from it. And I guess if we have to be, the first ones to make that mistake and learn from it for everyone else to not make that mistake, then we'll live from it. Because of that, we're bringing something good out of it.
And I know, I did repost the photo and probably made it worse than it could have been. So I do, I guess apologize for that, Andrew, for kind of making it maybe bigger and a story than it needed to be, I guess. But it is what it is, and I know you guys are trying to learn from this. What was the experience like meeting? Was it a quick photo, or did you get to talk to Dave Portnoy much? Or
it was a quick photo, quick interaction. He's a cool guy, so it was cool to be down there to see a big time game like that. But now we're locked in and we're ready for the season.
What was, I mean, after you guys did that and it did start to blow up a little bit, what was, I guess, the next couple hours or days like, kind of trying to kind of realize, deal with this and then kind of move past it?
I mean, I didn't even know that the photo was posted or anything. So I took a nap at halftime, and then I woke up and I saw that we were, going a little viral. So, I think the first thing we thought about was just how we're going to respond from it and how we're going to make up for it. So I think we did a really good job coming together as a group and, regrouping, figuring out what was best for us and for, our fan base, to show them that we bleed blue and that we love being here.
And the one thing I tried to say when I was kind of defending you guys a little bit this week was anyone that actually thinks you guys care about Utah or have anything to do with Utah, they're crazy. I mean, you guys all, whether you'll admit it or not, you all had opportunities for significantly more money to go play elsewhere. And you guys stayed at Boise State because you wanted to be here. And anyone that wants to question your loyalty, I think probably is maybe was heated in the moment, and you guys can understand why folks might have been upset. I mean, Leon even said he was upset. Former players were upset. But I think when people kind of take a step back and take a deep breath, I mean, you guys, it was nothing more than just a college kid going down there to put a jersey on to blend in with the crowd. And obviously you regret it. But, I mean, you guys obviously are at the place you want to be at because you didn't have to be here if you didn't want to. And you guys obviously care about one university, and that's Boise State.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, we all want to be here. I mean, that's why we're here. We all want to win. We all want to do something that has never been done here. So, we're all loyal to the school and to each other as teammates and brothers. So I don't think our loyalty should be questioned.
Folks in the chat are giving you credit here. Thanks for owning it. Not an easy thing to do. Bronco Nation appreciates it. Shane does say he misses the hair, by the way. But in terms of the clothing drive, again, opposing teams gear, how'd you guys come up with this idea? And I think it's a pretty cool idea here. Non-Boise State gear, and then we need to make sure we let folks know and remind them that you have a chance to win if you bring gear. A jersey from our friend Travis Hawks in the Blue and Orange store, a customized Nike jersey. So I know you guys, right? The whole team's going to be down there meeting fans, hanging out, taking the gear. And I know Keen joked that he's even going to go wash it himself. But just to be down there hanging out tomorrow, meet folks, take pictures, sign autographs, and take the opposing gear. And then I don't know if you'll give them a ticket or sign them up or how that's going to work, but somehow folks will be entered. And you guys are going to do some sort of contest to give away a customized Nike jersey.
Yeah, so, I just thought that we all thought it would fit with how we made that mistake by wearing opposing team's jersey, that if people bring in their opposing team's jersey, even if it's a professional team, that we can, someone can get the big reward of a new Nike jersey from the Blue and Orange store. So I think that was just, something we all thought of, and we thought it fit perfectly with the situation. And I'm excited for tomorrow to meet all the fans and engage with everybody.
Well, nice work on that, and I think that's pretty cool you guys are doing that. You mentioned professional, by the way. Kobe Carl joining the staff officially. They announced it yesterday. I know he's been around the program some over the summer, and I don't know how well you know him, but I mean, one of the greatest players in program history, coached in the G League, has been an assistant coach in the NBA, played in the NBA. I mean, what's it like to have Kobe Carl, joining the staff here?
It's super cool, having someone that has experience like that on the playing level and as well as the coaching level. It brings so many things to learn from. I've been picking his brain, trying to figure out things just from he sees as a coaching from a coaching perspective, and also from a player's perspective because he's been in my shoes before. So just learning like little things that can help me make that next step to become a NBA player one day, and just seeing that from multiple levels is super cool to have him on staff.
How's and again, we're visiting with Andrew Meadow for a couple more minutes here, talking about the team and obviously the clothing drive they got coming up tomorrow. But I know you guys, I mean, they called it the first practice on Monday. I know that's kind of ceremonial. You guys have been practicing for months, really, but you can do more now in terms of the hours and things like that. But just how's the team looking? What's kind of the feeling like right now as you're a couple of weeks away from the Idaho exhibition game?
I think the overall feeling of the team right now is excited. We're all really excited to continue to get going and able to do more. And, we're every single day, we're a day closer to that exhibition game. And, we're getting closer as a team, which I think is very important because you can't be a good team if you're not connected. And I think that's been one of the biggest things that we've been emphasizing throughout the summer and now into the fall is just building that team camaraderie. And, that'll take us far in the end.
That stretch that you had late in the season, I mean, you really upped your scoring there towards the end of the season. How much kind of confidence did that give you? And is that the kind of Andrew Meadow that you're hoping to be and that we're going to see here? I mean, a 15 point a game type guy. I mean, just the aggressiveness you played with and down the stretch, I think the final 15 games, you upped your points per game. I think 4 or 5 points a game. I mean, I don't know the exact stats on me, but just in general, how are you feeling? And obviously everyone's talking about no Tyson and no Alvaro and no Omar. I mean, a lot of you guys are going to have to step up and have big years. I mean, is that how you're kind of looking at this? That you want to kind of build off what you did last year and do even more?
Yeah, I think that last stretch, whatever it was, like 10, 15 games, like I think that was the perfect, stretch to go into this season because, I knew coming out of that season that I'm going to have to, take another big step for this program and for my teammates. And, I feel really good. I'm really confident right now. I took another leap in the offseason in multiple areas of my game. So I'm just super excited to be able to, get on the floor and just put it all out there.
What's going to be the strength of this team, you think, when it's all said and done? What do you think you guys are going to do well?
I think, we're a really good three-point shooting team. I think at times last year we were a good three-point shooting team despite the percentages. But I think this year's team is, even better than last year's team. And, sometimes percentages just don't go your way. And I'm excited for them to go our way this year.
Tell us about some of the newcomers, fans that haven't gotten to see maybe the transfers or a couple of the freshmen come in. I mean, it seems like a lot of those guys are going to be, have big roles and, probably a couple of them be starters. I mean, what should fans be excited about when it comes to some of the folks maybe they haven't seen out there on the court yet?
I think, all of our newcomers are really good guys. They fit our program. They fit our play style. All the new younger guys, they're all super eager to learn, which is super cool to see. It's cool to, be on the other end now. I've been in the program a couple of years to be able to, lead some of these young guys because I've been in their shoes and just it's cool to see them ask questions and always be trying to get better. So we have good guys trying to get better every single day. And we have a lot of guys that are make big impacts on the court. And then defensively, we're going to be really good, especially at the point guard position. We have 2 point guards that are really going to lit up that ball and we're gonna be a really good defensive team.
I think 2 months from right now you'll be in Maui at the Maui Invitational. I mean, I know you got a lot of practice, a lot of games before that, but when you found out you guys were going to get to be in the Maui Invitational, I mean, I don't know about for you, but for me being a basketball junkie, I watch that thing every year. I mean, I might get chills walking into the Lahaina Civic Center there, man. I mean, that's a historic tournament and venue, and for you guys to get to be a part of that in 2 months here, that's got to be something cool that you guys are working towards.
No, yeah. I mean, when I first found out the news, it was kind of the same thing. I grew up watching that tournament. It's probably the best tournament in college basketball. So to be able to play in that against some good quality competition, it's a blessing, and I'm just looking forward to that. But I mean, we got to stay in the moment. We can't look too far ahead.
Well, like you said, getting ready for the Idaho exhibition on October 17th, and I know tickets are on sale for that right now as well. And there's a a component to that, I believe, with NIL and some other stuff. So hopefully, folks sell that thing out there at the downtown arena against Idaho. And you guys have typically done the secret scrimmages, and I know you're going to do one more of those, I believe, against Washington. But just to get a practice game in front of fans and with the lights on and stuff, that's got to be a cool thing too. That's going to help get you ready for the season.
Yeah, I haven't done much like research about the old rivalry or whatever between us and Idaho, but from what I've heard, it should be a really packed game and it's going to be a fun environment in October. So, I'm really looking forward to that game and to have that real season feeling next month.
Well, I know Keen said the other day that you guys prefer the Utah and Idaho jerseys to come on down and throw those in the bin, and any other school you guys have, throw those in the bin on Saturday. Looking forward to it tomorrow. Thanks for coming on. And again, what's the, I guess, any time, do you know the time frame? I guess anytime folks come down there, they can dump stuff. I don't know if Chris is close by, but do you have any idea on the timing tomorrow?
I think we are getting there at 3:15. So okay. I'd say at that time, that's when our whole team will be there. So, anytime after 3:15, we'll be there. We'll be looking forward to see you guys and take your guys' jerseys and enter you guys to win a new Boise State jersey.
Yeah, and so again, any non-Boise State gear, you said pro's okay, college, high school, I don't think it matters. Just any non-Boise State clothing, and it doesn't have to be a jersey, right? Sweatshirt, T-shirt, any clothing,
anything. Yep.
Yeah, bring that down, and then those will get obviously donated to those that could use some new clothing, especially this time of year as the weather starts to get colder. So, and you get to meet the guys. You're helping out a good cause. You get to meet some of the players, and then you get a chance, like you said, to win your own customized jersey from the Blue and Orange store as well. So, pretty cool. Hats off to you guys for kind of owning this and moving on. And I think in the large scheme of things, it was all kind of silly, and glad that you guys can turn this into a positive. And looking forward to seeing you guys out there on the court real soon, Andrew. We appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, BJ.
Thanks a lot. There he is, Andrew Meadow. Appreciate him for jumping on. And again, clothing drive tomorrow. They got the food drive as well with Lithia Ford. So if you want to kill two birds with one stone, bring down some non-perishable food items. You can bring down your non-Boise State jerseys. I know my kids are coming to the game tomorrow with my wife, and they're going to bring down some old jerseys that don't fit them anymore and throw those in the bin there and try to win that Nike jersey. So a lot going on tomorrow down there at the stadium, and we appreciate Andrew Meadow for coming on. Appreciate Chris Coots with Boise State for helping set that up as well. And the game is sold out, but there are tickets available on the secondary market if you're looking for tickets to come down to the game. We will be live at the James Kitchen and Bar 3:00. We'll be doing our pregame show tomorrow over at the James at 3:00. If you're looking to find a spot to have a bite to eat and have a beverage before the game, come join us at the James. We'll be there at 3:00 for the pregame show out on the patio, and then we'll be with the game being at 5:30. I think they're going to be open for a little bit after the game. We'll be doing our post-game show there as well. That'll kick off right when the game ends, so looking forward to that as well. So a lot going on tomorrow around the game, pregame, postgame. We'll have you covered at BroncoNationNews.com. Just got Nathan Carroll's game preview. We'll be getting that in the system for subscribers here shortly. So key players to watch, areas to watch, positions to watch, his prediction, all kinds of good stuff. You can get that at BroncoNationNews.com here shortly, and I'm going to have a story as well in the secondary and their goals needing to improve here. So I think we're up to like 15 new stories this week that we've posted. So if you want to jump on board, we got 30% off right now for your annual subscription, or you can try us for $1 for a month and see if you like it and subscribe as well. So appreciate this ain't happening, by the way. I just looked down. Neither one of those is happening. Not donating the Kansas jersey for sure. They play at 10 a.m. tomorrow, actually. So hopefully we'll be have another win under our belt by the time I go on the pregame show at 3:00. But appreciate you guys. Go subscribe if you can. BroncoNationNews.com. We'd love to have your subscription 30% off, and tons of great content. If you're a Boise State fan, you can jump in those message boards. We have the free board. We have the paid VIP board where we drop more of our nuggets and scoops and things. We put in there that David Moats was going to Virginia Tech well before that went public anywhere else. So recruiting visits, big recruiting weekend. We got some visitors that are coming. We put that in the thing as well. So which visitors are coming for Boise State, that's in our VIP board. So you get a lot of recruiting nuggets, other information, things like that. So I hope you'll consider subscribing. We're the only local independent media outlet not associated with Boise State that travels to every home and road football and basketball games. So you're going to get coverage literally that you won't find anywhere else if you support us and subscribe to Bronco Nation News. So thanks a lot to Jim Sturk. Thanks to everybody here at Lithia Ford of Boise, Jamie Drake, the whole crew. Appreciate their support. If you're looking for a new or used vehicle, this is this weekend they got some great deals going on right now here at Lithia Ford of Boise, including this F-150 Lightning electric vehicle. Really cool vehicle, and very happy and cool that we made it work to be down here for the show. So thanks, guys. Go subscribe. Go check out our YouTube channel. Got a lot of interviews throughout the week and things in there. And we'll talk to you guys later. See you at the game. See you at the James, 3 o'clock for the pregame show. Boise State, Appalachian State. Should be a fun one tomorrow on the Blue. And we'll have you covered as always. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. Take care, everybody.